Hello guys and gals, it is I, the Monster, and today we're going to shake things up a little bit. So lately I've been putting out a lot of videos that are a little more positive, a little cheery. Today I decided to kind of spin it a little and do something different. So today we're going to talk about 5 games that I'm just not crazy about. These are just games that I didn't really vibe with. Some of them I've completed, the rest of them are mostly in the collection because they're a part of a series I enjoy, or I think there's an interesting conversation to be had. So again, these are just my opinions. I'm no expert gamer or anything like that. These are just my takes. So without further ado, let's just get started. Okay, so starting at number 5, we have Pokken Tournament for the Nintendo Wii U. Now, I know what you're thinking. The Wii U already was like not the most popular console of all time, but I actually enjoyed the console for what it was, and it did some things good, and did a lot of things bad, I guess. But I actually had a really good time with the Wii U for the time being. And this was a game I was really excited about. This was like the Tekken team taking the Pokemon license and like actually making like a fighting game out of this franchise, and I was like, wow, okay, like the game was set for arcades first and then it came to consoles later, and I was really excited. I thought it looked really nice, it had a beautiful art style. It actually had a great roster of Pokemon. Like if you go and look up the roster, it's banging. But like, I don't know, just something about this game did not connect with me at all. You fight in like this dome, and like again, you're using the Tekken gameplay style, and you're in this dome and you're constantly getting bounced around on this dome. And it's kind of like whoever designed the game, again, I'm not a Tekken player, right? But like, whoever designed the game, it's like if you're caught in a combo loop, it's over. You might as well put the controller down. And you know, playing on that Wii U tablet, oh my god. I know there might have been a fight stick or something out there at the time for this game, but holy moly, man, was it a pain. I had one friend that I went online with that I played a lot of games with, and he was just wailing me against the wall. And I was, I don't mind losing in a game, but like, boom, 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 your character's getting bounced off, and you're just sitting there like, okay, like you're just getting juggled. I really just did not have a lot of fun with this game. I know there's another version that came out later on, I believe for the Switch. It had like more characters and things like that. I don't know if they improved anything. And I did pre-order it, so I got the Shadow Mewtwo card. I think you unlocked him as a character or something. But yeah, it just wasn't for me. I think I got a lenticular too for this game. But yeah, the game was not for me. Did not enjoy it. Did not have any fun. But I kept it because it's an interesting, conversation. It's an interesting game. I'll give it that much. So yeah, not my thing, not my cup of tea. Okay, so for number 4, I need to kind of explain this one. So I'm a huge animation fan. If you guys have been rocking with the channel for a while, you know that at one point or another I was trying to be an animator, which failed miserably. But I grew up on like, I was always into cartoons, and I grew up on things like Hanna-Barbera and Disney and Cartoon Network and of course Nickelodeon. So I picked up this game not too long ago, maybe a year or so ago, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 Slime Speedway. So the reason why I picked this game up is because this was the first game in this Game Mill series that they finally got the voice actors back in the booths to record a lot of these characters. On top of that, the roster for this game is easily the best roster they've ever had. I'm kind of big when it comes to rosters, and a lot of those games weren't really scratching my itch, but this one has characters like Rocco from Rocko's Modern Life, and like Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot and such, and that kind of thing. And the Ninja Turtles are in this, like the old 80s Ninja Turtles or 90s Ninja Turtles are in this. So in any case, why is this game not my cup of tea? I'm not crazy about it because it just does not play great. It's got a level of jank that even I can't stand up for. You play this game kind of like you would the old like Sonic kart racing games where you do tricks off of ramps and you get a boost. And none of the tricks work. The animation button, whatever it is that gets you to do a trick, never works. You ride around in slime and you build up your slime meter and use like different items and abilities. There's shortcuts, which is interesting. But like overall, it just does not play great. The other thing that's really, really baffling is that the way that you unlock certain characters in this game, you have to go and like do so many things. It's like you're grinding. One of the characters, Helga in this game, Helga G. Pataki from Hey Arnold, you literally have to go online to unlock her. You have to play like a race or something. And guess what? The online's dead. So you can't unlock her. People have been asking Game Mill to like help out with this, and they've done nothing. Like you'll see, if you unlock like some of the Ninja Turtles, you have to do a ton of trials, a ton of different modes. It's just a pain in the butt. This game, the one thing I will say that's really good about this game is the the art, well, I'll say two things. The art and the animations in this game are very good. Like, the way that the characters look is wonderful, but everything else is just, like, not great. Like, again, just from, like, looking at it, if you're a fan of the cartoons, it's exciting, but playing it, it's not awesome. Also, like, for whatever reason, whoever did, like, the voice direction in this game, like, completely screwed up and, like, gave these people, like, who voiced the characters these popular lines, but none of them make any sense with what's going on the racetrack. So, like, you'll have, like, lines from, like, Arnold from Hey Arnold talking about, like, his pet turtle, or you'll have Rocco talking about, I think, Garbage Day, and there's all these weird things, like, and you're like, this is cute, but then you realize, you're like, huh, this does not fit with anything going on. So yeah, disappointing. It's just not my cup of tea. If you're picking this up, get it on the dirt, because, you know, yeah, it's not great. And Game Mill, I don't know what's going on with Game Mill, if they're like an evil pyramid scheme or something, but they are just notorious for making kids games that just have something weird going on with them. So yeah. Alright, so number 3 is a very interesting game. I have been looking at this game for several years now, everywhere I can, just to see if there's a deal out there for it. So I have this weird obsession with, like, dwarves in video games and just in media. I'm a short man in real life, so I identify more with those kinds of characters. Even back in my old WoW days, I was always a dwarf. Any of those kinds of games, if you give me the option, I'll make a dwarf. And that got me interested in looking at THQ Nordic's The Dwarves, which is based off of a really popular novel. This is a European copy, but I got it cheap for, like, I think I paid like $10 for this or something. So here's what's interesting about this game. Aesthetically, again, it's kind of like the Nickelodeon game where the art is nice. It's a nice looking game. But again, the gameplay is just it's just not good, man. It's not good. And so, like, they patched the PC version, but what I didn't know was the PS4 version was kind of left in the dust. So the way it plays is it's kind of like an RPG where you take your characters and it's like almost like a strategy one, and you're taking your characters and you're moving them to fight these big hordes of orcs and goblins and various enemies. But the problem is, like, if you do an animation, they're stuck in the animation. Then you got to click them out of the animation, or if you have to do one thing, then it goes full blast. Like, you can throw people off of cliffs, or you could jump off by accident, and you can't get out of them. And it's just such a level of, like, unpolished gameplay that I couldn't believe it. They had moments in this game where you're literally there's like a day and night schedule kind of thing, and you're literally in these scenarios that you're stuck in. If you want to do them, and you fight like 20 friggin' orcs at the same time, and you're getting your butt stomped out. And this is like on normal, and it's crazy. Even when you get party members, they don't really do anything because they're too busy like tanking and dealing with other things and getting killed, and they need your help. So you're constantly picking a thing, getting stuck in the thing, undoing the thing, moving the character, and it's not polished. This game could have really been something special had they actually like thought about these things a little better. I gotta tell you, I really don't recommend this game. But if you're a fan of dwarves and you just want to peek at it, get it like when it's dirt cheap, just like the Nickelodeon game. Man, this was a huge disappointment, man. I was so bummed out by this. Alright, so the final 2 games on this list are going to be pretty controversial. And I just want to get this out. Again, these are just my opinions. I ain't no pro at video games, and, you know, it's just my thoughts. If you don't agree, that's perfectly fine, but I'm here to present my case. So the last 2 games on this list, I have been going back and forth. Should I make videos about them entirely, or should I just put it on a list? I decided, obviously, to throw it on here. So here we go. Number 2 on this list is Luigi's Mansion 3. Now, I know what you're thinking, Blake, how could you pick this game? Are you kidding me? This is such a banger. It's sold a ton of copies. It looks great. It runs great. It's this, it's that. Okay, so here's the dealio, okay? I'm a huge fan of the Luigi's Mansion franchise. I really believe this is one of the best looking games on the Switch. I truly think Next Level Games, like, they have a great, like, the way their characters look and their designs and everything, they knocked it out of the park here. What I don't enjoy, what I'm not crazy about with this game, is that it took the philosophy of Luigi's Mansion, where you're going into this spooky mansion, or mansions, like you would in the sequel, and, you know, Dark Moon for the 3DS. I don't have it on the Switch yet. And they decided we're going to do a hotel, and the hotel is going to have all these different themed areas. And I was kind of going with it for a while, but I really did not enjoy this concept that they had in their heads. You know, over the course of this series, we've lost like the more named, characterized spooky ghosts, and then we went more into colored stuff and like little characterized spirits and things that you have to fight. But I was not vibing with the idea of this hotel having all of these different themes. It like took me out. I would have rather they just copied too and went into different areas, different mansions and cabins and spooky zones, because to me that's the more of the heart of the Luigi's Mansion franchise. The other thing was they had a lot of controller problems with this game and how you move and you suck with the ghosts, and they have a option in this game to improve it, to change it, and it did not fix it. So then they went in, I believe they patched it or something, and it still was not fixed. The other problem I have with this game is there's a level where you're in the sewers and you're on like a raft for most of it. It's a brilliant idea and concept, but the practice of it, when they actually pulled it off, I thought it was terrible. Hated the boss fight in that. I had no fun with it at all, and I just did not enjoy it. I also recall that there is like an Egyptian level, like a pyramid level, and I think if you suck up like everything in the zone, there's like no secrets at all. They have a lot of these beautiful zones that are a little hard to distinguish. Like there's a plant zone with like a giant vine monster thing, and it's just really hard to figure out. By the end of this game too, you also have an obscene amount of coins, and you really don't ever need them unless you're like a kid and you gotta buy lives or something. You're never using them. You're not really upgrading your stuff. Like there's no means to like to picking these coins up and these various monies. So for me, it lost a lot of the charm that this game and the first Luigi's Mansion had. It just did not pull me in. And I wasn't even crazy about the last boss fight. So again, I know people love Luigi's Mansion 3. I got it. I've heard it. People online on podcasts. This game sold a ton of hotcakes. I get it. It's just not my favorite one of the franchise. And I'm sorry. I really think that it's not that great. So yeah, it's a game I'm not crazy about. Sorry, guys. Okay, and the last game on my list, my number one on the list of games I'm not crazy about. I have been going back and forth forever since I've come back to YouTube if I'm going to make a video about this or what's going to happen. But I'm just doing it here because I gotta air this out. I gotta get this off my chest. My number one is Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. Okay, so if you're not howling at the screen right now, let me again, I'm going to give you the context. Again, these are just my opinions, I'm sorry. So, years ago, Tales of Vesperia came out exclusively to the Xbox 360. It was a big deal. It was a big power play for Microsoft to get a lot of Japanese RPGs on there, and it was a great move. Then in Japan, they got it on the PS3 as well, but it never came to America. Flash forward years later, we're begging, please Bandai Namco, bring Tales of Vesperia to the PS4, because I've heard nothing but great things about this game and how awesome it is. And sure enough, they finally did it. They brought it over. They added the extra content. They couldn't get the main guy, Yuri's voice actor back, so half of it's the old voice actor, and the other half is the new one. Guys, it's the dude from, like, The Last of Us. Like, I mean, I have to imagine he was busy or he was asking for a lot of money. I don't know. But, like, you know, I was excited. So, I picked this game up. I'm like, here we go. Now, you have to understand something. This is one of those games, if you're a Tales fan, if you're an RPG fan, the fan base will always bring up this game. It's always this game, Tales of Symphonia, and Tales of the Abyss, okay? I love Abyss. I'm still kind of playing Symphonia. It's not bad. And Vesperia, man, this game just does not connect with me on the same level that everybody else does. It reminds me a lot of like when I was younger, and I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts guy, and I used to go to the message boards like Ultimania, and people would talk about how much they loved Riku before he got his character development, how great he was. And I'd go and be like, he's good, he's angry, he's edgy, and people would poop on me, and it would be horrible, like, oh, whole thing. That's how I feel about this. Yuri is just like the main character of this game. To me, he is just like Wonder Bread. He's so uninteresting. I could care less about this character. As a matter of fact, I don't really care about most of the party members in this game. Most of the party members are like very basic to me. You have like a princess that's like a part of a bigger storyline. You've got a genius girl that's kind of snarky and angry. You got a waifu elf that's just kind of there who's like a hunter. You got an old guy who's got a lot of interesting stuff to say, but they never let him talk. And then you've got Carol, the kid, who starts the guild, who progresses the storyline forward, and the entire roster craps on him for most of the game. It's so weird. Like, to me, Carol is the heart and soul of the game. Now, the other thing is that you have the gameplay is kind of like they were figuring out their like more 3D gameplay, so the combo system's not there yet. You're constantly getting interrupted a lot. It's just a very odd game. There's always like the map system in this game is just terrible. Like, it's not good. Like, you would have thought with a definitive edition that they would fix things. The map, you're constantly getting stuck on things. You got to sail onto a boat, and you got to get out of the, like, you're stuck on the forest trees and things. It drives me nuts. The storyline is bonkers, even for a Tales game. Like, I don't know half of the crap going on. The gods and these characters they talk about are, like, names that just sound like they were made up out of a generator. Like, I put over 40 hours into this game, and I got very close to beating it, and I just was like, I'm done. I had enough of this game. Like, I just do not enjoy this game at all. I really just don't think it's for me. I don't care about the characters as much. Again, the gameplay doesn't hold me, and there's just nothing there. Again, and I heard for years, people love Yuri. I think he is so friggin' boring. Sorry, guys. So yeah, that's it. I don't think it's a great game. I'm sorry. I feel like if you're gonna play a good Tales game, play Abyss, play Bersaria, hell, play Exilia. I did a review of Exilia 100 years ago. So stuff like that. That's it. That's just my take. Alright, y'all, so that was it. That was my 5 games that I am not crazy about. I know a couple of these might be controversial. Again, these are just my opinions. But please tell me down below, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Are there any games that you're just not crazy about, that everybody loves, or any of that stuff? Please, and like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, do whatever you gotta do. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and that's it, guys. You know, I just wanted to do something different for once and shake things up a little. So, that's it. Peace!